Good evening, everyone. I am coming to you earlier than usual. I'm Rochelle Whitaker, mental health therapist, educational consultant, and parent educator. My goal is to equip, empower, and educate parents on how to advocate for their children. So we've been doing a series on 10 ways to help your child be successful in school. And tonight I want to talk about when to evaluate. So when, as a parent, do you know if you should have your child evaluated? And there are several things that you should consider about having your child evaluated. And so first we want to start with if you've done everything if you've done everything that you could, if you have used reinforcement, maybe you've used praise and encouragement, maybe you've used tangible reinforcers like stickers, extra computer time, rewards, different kinds of rewards, and nothing seems to be working. You've talked with the teacher, you've created behavior charts, and nothing seems to be working, then it may be time to consider having your child evaluated. And so there are two different kinds of evaluations, or two different things to look at. So there's the academic portion. If your child is not succeeding in school, so they're not able to grasp concepts, they aren't mastering the content of the classroom, they're just struggling. They're struggling with homework assignments, they're struggling with daily assignments, they're just struggling, and they're frustrated, and their self-confidence just seems to be suffering, like they feel like they just can't grasp. Okay, so then it may be time to have your child evaluated for a learning disability. Now, if your child is struggling with behavior, that's something different. It's a different type of evaluation, or not type of evaluation. It is, but it's okay. I'm not going to get into technicalities of that. But if your child is struggling with behavior, then it's not so much academic, and the behavior could be impacting the academics. So maybe they're not grasping the concept, but it's not because they aren't able to, it's because their behavior is so disruptive or out of hand that they aren't able to focus in on what's going on in class. So when to know if you should have your child evaluated. And so what I would consider is, I've done everything that I could possibly do. I have used, like I said, you've used behavior charts, you talked to the teacher, you all have created things, you've been working together, you're doing things at home, you use praise, reinforcement, encouragement, and nothing seems to be working, then it may be time to consider having your child evaluated. And so you can have a comprehensive evaluation, which looks at academic and behavioral, or you can have an evaluation that looks at just the academics. So, or you can have an evaluation that just looks at the behavior. So you can do either one or a combination of both. It depends on what the specific issue is. And so how you go about having your child evaluated, well, that can vary. But generally, you would go to your campus and you would ask to talk to your the assessment personnel or the referral chair in Texas. So every campus has a referral chair, and you can even talk to your teacher. Now, sometimes that doesn't get you to where you need to be as swiftly, but you can start talking to your teacher. Start talking to your child's teacher and tell them, hey, we're constantly having problems, and they can start the referral process on their end, and you can do it as well. So, write a letter, or, just go and ask the teacher who the referral chair is, and just kind of go and talk to. And hopefully you all have been documenting. So when I say documenting, you've been recording like everything that you've tried, it's not working, the interventions. And so if your child is having difficulty at school, the teacher should also be documenting as well. And so you can have the child evaluated through the school system, which is usually of no charge. Let me not say usually, it's of no charge. Or you can have your child evaluated outside of the school. And there are several different people who can do those kind of evaluations depending on what it is. And so you just have to make the determination that, okay, it's time to have my child evaluated, and what does that look like? What am I hoping to gain? So if you go through the school system and you have your child evaluated, usually that falls under the umbrella of special education services. So you have to decide, once your child is evaluated, you come to an ARD meeting, an ARD, admission review and dismissal meeting, and then you all talk about the findings, whatever the case may be. Now, if your child meets the eligibility criteria for a learning disability, then they could be serviced under special education, or they could be serviced under 504. So it just kind of depends on you as a parent. So I would say, in your thinking, okay, we've tried everything, this isn't working, we need to do something else. I'm thinking I want to have my child evaluated. Think about what you're hoping to gain in the end. So know that going in, so that will help you on the outset, right? So if you just want some accommodations put in place, maybe you don't want special education services, maybe you just want 504 and you just want some accommodations put in place to see if this will, this is your first line of defense, to see if this will help. And then if it's, you feel like it's not helping, then of course you can go take it even further and to have your child be serviced under special education. But I would say, know what you want from the evaluation going in. So like I said, if you have your child evaluated by the school, it's of no cost. Sometimes it can take a while. It just depends. And it also depends on how severe the issues are for the teacher and the campus. And so you just have to make sure that you have done or you've looked at every option possible. So if your child's having behavior problems, maybe you're concerned about those behavior issues, but maybe you're not ready to have your child evaluated. So I would say, okay, well, let's get a counselor involved. And counseling in the school and outside the school is not the same, but in school could help the child manage whatever behaviors are happening. But then outside of school could also help them to delve a little bit deeper into what may be going on, what the underlying issues are. So those are some things I want you to think about if you're at this stage and you're not sure if you want to have your child evaluated, or if you're thinking, okay, I've done everything I know to do and it's still not working, then maybe it's time to consider having your child evaluated. I hope you all have a good week. If you have questions, feel free to DM me or email me at info@providentialcounseling.com. And I will see you guys later. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.